minute episode of this thing right here. So what else is it? Well, you PR people know what it is. Here, I'll give you a test question, right? Coming out of Thanksgiving, the test question is, what, and I think I've already mentioned it, what is discourse that's designed to repair an image or a person, repair an organization or a person's image? What? You're close. Image restoration rhetoric. Image restoration rhetoric. All right, so BP has been accused of what? What's Maggie said they do? They spilled oil all over the place and killed all those poor animals, right? Well, this is their way of responding. So on Wednesday, we're going to talk about public relations. So I'm going to need you to take a look at that. But I thought that this app provided a really good bridge between three things we're looking at. If you were BP, I think it would be good to do an extended version of this, which would be like a documentary, right? And you can send that to your stockholders in a little folder, people on your board, main businesses that have used BP. I mean, what about all the fishing companies that have used BP and have been sucker punched because not only was there oil there for a while, but nobody wants to come back because they think there's oil still there. So you want to send out a little documentary to those guys that are big fishing companies that says, hey, we've dealt with the issue. Do you understand that? So it could be a good documentary. But then also, at the end of the day, we're talking about commercials, aren't we? And that's where we were the other day. Now, what I want to do is, a few of you weren't here. Should we give them the questions from the test? You're awful generous, John. The first one is, what two things does any television spot need to do? Raise your hand. Come on, guys. Yes, ma'am. There she is. The star back here. Okay, go what?
Tell a story.
Oh, very good. But it's not. I was fishing for a certain answer. Now there's oil all over it. Now, we definitely want to tell a good story. But there's a test question that says a television spot does two things. What are they? Gain attention, motivate action. Write that down if you don't miss it. Didn't I say this would be on the test? And you got 3 stars by it. And what do 3 stars tell you? It's on the test. There's also 3 types of television spots. What are they? Yes?
Commercials, promos, and public service.
That's right. What are commercials? Raise your hand. Come on, yes.
Advertisements for products or services.
Advertising product or service. What's a promo? Yes, ma'am. It pushes the TV or radio station. Watch whatever show it is next week, right? And then finally, a PSA, which is a spot given to nonprofits, doesn't sell a good service, and it's also a public service announcement, right? All right, great. Now, the takeaway, guys, come on. Did I learn anything in this class? There's 3 things that whenever we write, including your commercial, which is due this Friday, is that not correct? And have we not given you massive amounts of tolerance in pushing it to this Friday? Well, we expect that back. When you get a chance, you guys are going to cut us some slack. We know we're not perfect. I know I'm kind of fat. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I mean, you know that. You go, can't remember our names. Well, I went to SIU for a couple of degrees, I think. Okay, so cut me some slack. All right? But we cut you some slack. But if there's anything that you learn from this class, in whatever you write, television commercial, print story, television news, radio news, what 3 giant things are you going to think about? Yes, ma'am? Telling a story. So you're always right there, right? You're always right. Tell a story. And did they tell a story here? What was the story? Yeah. We spilled oil and we are cleaning it up and everybody's living happily ever after now, right? There's a story there. Okay, so we're always going to think about this thinking dramatically. What's the second big thing that we think about? Yes, ma'am? Structural considerations. Absolutely. Which include what? Raise your hand. Pace. Yes. Variety. Climax. Unity. Always think about all of those things, even when you're doing an ad. Right? Because it may be, ultimately, man, the best kind of commercials, and I'm going to tell you, now we explain how to do the commercial, do we not? I mean, you couldn't have a stronger explanation than, look, you got 2 examples of storyboards, do you not? In the back of the book? We'll make it very clear. You have a picture, and then we'll go into detail about the storyboard. And then clearly we outline the exact nature of the assignment. And what did I encourage you to do as a subject matter? There's 2 things I would think about. What's that? Oh, well, always go to Advisor Center, man. I mean, I would. You're paying for it. It's like buying an album and not listening to it. I know you did that with Justin Bieber. Don't lie. You bought it, you don't listen to it. People are up with Selma, right?
Selena.
Is that it? Selena Gomez. I read that today. I was like, the top of my, wow! Anyway, so my point was, when you pick something to do, what should you pick? Yes?
Pick something that's important to you.
So pick something that's important to you. And everything in this class, you say, was the subject matter important to me? Well, yeah, because I got to pick it, right? That's why you might do your final project. You like NASCAR? Okay, good. Does he? What do you like? Okay, well, you could do a documentary on football, right? Or you could do a poem. Man, come on, somebody should do it. Do a promo where you offer, if you go online and ask, say when, is it Hester on the Bears? Hester, yeah. My little kid would punch me in the stomach. Oh, man, tighten up for that. But do some ad where you say, go online and ask a trivia question about him, and you can win Bears tickets, season tickets for next year. If you put your email in, and then what are they going to do all next year to me? Spam me, right. How about that, man? Have they done an ad like that? Have you seen one like that? Oh, okay. Why? About the Bears?
No.
Okay, well, I do that one. But do something you care about. Something you care about, right? Like in every assignment. And then what's the second thing I said? Do you want to sell somebody a good or service? You can if you want. What else could you do? Rather than sell a good or service, what else could you do? Yeah, PSA, where you promote what? A cause. Do you care about, is there a cause that's particularly important to you? Cancer research. There you go, man. It'd be great. That'd be awesome. PSA to write. I just read right next to where Justin and Selena broke up was a bunch of explanation about people who were donating. Leonardo DiCaprio donated $500,000 to clean up the hurricane. There were some other stars that, who was it that wore the meat? What's her name? Lady Gaga. I should know. I have her dance mix tracks. I don't know why my little girl would know. Well, never mind. Let's not talk about it. But the point is that she said she'd give $1 million. Like, that's not the same as giving $1 million, is it? Leonardo gave $500,000. She said she would. I mean, I hope she does. But how about that? How about clean up for the hurricane that just happened? Tear the crud out of the Eastern Coast, right? Do a PSA about something you care about. Something your family's involved with, some organization that's altruistic. And remember, that was the word for the day, the Wednesday we left before Thanksgiving. And what does the word altruistic mean? Raise your hand. Yes? You need some others before your own. Do a PSA about something you care about. Man, maybe. All right? Now, we covered a lot of different structures. You know the structure I love. What structure do I love for your commercial? Dramatic. Show me a problem and then a solution. Have I told you when I bought my first cell phone? Yeah. Okay, why was it? A daughter got stuck on the road, and rainy. Clement Brett pulls up behind her. You ladies need some help, right? And she locks her door. Daddy, we have a flat tire. And my kids and the baby's mama were heading to Oklahoma that weekend. I wasn't going, so what did I want them to have? Safety and a cell phone. So you guys get the point? Because they told me a story. And what did they do? They emphasized a dramatic need that was satisfied by what? Huh? Buying things. That's right. Do you understand? So what you do is create some, in the mind of your audience, some need. And then you try to suggest that your product will fill it. Again, I feel sad for Jennifer Love Hewitt. and her terrible acne, but Proactive was there to make her beautiful again, right? You know what I'm talking about. So isn't that a story? Don't you have a character? And we looked at the Brinks ads, did we not? I mean, it's explicitly identified in the book, right? You got a family, the dad drives off, some mean-looking guy kicks in the door, right? And all of a sudden it turns to minor scale music, and there's a need, isn't there? Who's there to save them? This is Carl from Brinks Home Security. Are you okay, ma'am? We're sending the car right over. And then the music turns major scale again, happy, right? So what you need to do, potentially do, is in your advertisement create a dramatic need that's satisfied with what? The product or the organization. You have a family member that can't go to the hospital and has got acute leukemia. Where could you send that? Somebody mentioned St. Jude's. Who's mentioned it? Yeah, and actually, I think it was a magazine ad that I saw this weekend where a mother who had gone to St. Jude's and her child was now at St. Jude's. And so it was like this generation. They had a problem. St. Jude, some organization that's altruistic, solved their need, right? Okay, good. Obviously, there's challenges whenever you do. I think the last thing we watched was an avocado commercial produced by a student in this class that won an award. Man, is there a halfway point on the slides or what? Challenges. You got challenges whenever you do ads, right? You got time. You got till Friday to do it, right? You got a budget. You know, later in another class, I'm going to tell you how budget's important, and that's true. But I want you right now to have fun with your PSA, okay? So imagine you can do whatever you want. Remember that you're not going to be able to do that in the real world because you're going to have budgets. Bless you. You got sponsors to consider. Hey, and look, this stuff is useful, I think, in two ways. You might own a company someday. And if you own a company, you're going to decide how you want the public to be reached. Okay, who wants to own a company in here? Anybody? Nobody wants to own a company. How about a band? Anybody got a band? Yeah? You want to promote the band, right? And I got films I want to promote. So I want to know how to promote them. And that's why I'm learning this. Also, you know how many commercials you're going to watch before you die? Over 10,000 hours worth. Can you imagine it? 10,000 hours worth? That's like years of your life you're spending watching commercials. Oh, that's why I watch My Sons of Anarchy on DVD. I'm not going to sit through that. Although now I know it's a Tuesday at 9, so I'll be watching it this week, unfortunately. I read too much about it. But this weekend, so season 4 is on. And they're going to make me watch commercials, aren't they? You're going to watch 10,000 hours of them. Every one you watch, I want you to think about how are they trying to con me into using their product? How are they trying to make me feel like my life is less than full without their... I got in the mail today this thing that said, the top dollar for my 2007 Prius so I can get a new Prius. God, it's direct order advertising. Kind of hit me right there. But man, the 2007 Prius is like, again, it's a classic. They're never going to top that. But I was thinking about for a second, what are they trying to do? They're trying to bait me with savings. I'm going to get premium buyback if I trade in my 2007. And then they're trying to create artificial need, right? Do they know that I've put 89,000 miles on that car? I don't know. You get the point. I was baited this morning, damn it! And it was, pardon me, and it was direct mail, which is for my advertisement, right? They created a need. We're going to have to work with sponsors. Ethics. I don't know, at least at some point, you guys are going to go and study Moore's class, ethics, and you're also going to study legality. Who decides if an ad is false and who enforces the laws against false advertising? Anybody? FTC, write it down. The Federal Trade Commission. You cannot put untrue ads on the air. The FTC. So who governs whether an ad is legal or not in the United States? FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. So you're going to talk about legality later. Let's continue to talk about challenges. I'm going to move past this. There's only one more thing that I want to talk about. Structure. None of this is going to be on the test. I'm going to blow that off. Although let's see what happened out here.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back to your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat. Your man could smell it. What's in your hand? Back to me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 teeth. It's that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
Again, I've already admitted to you, I use Boston, when I really have to, but it's Old Spice, man. Ladies, look at it. They smell the same. I used to buy some other cheap crap, but when this guy started advertising it, I started buying Old Spice. This is like $4 a gallon, But somehow they increased the prestige when they hired that guy. So now they have the tickets of the thing you wanted. Now they're diamonds. Ladies, look at your man. Look at me, right? Somehow they got me.
Did you know?
Okay, get out of here. I don't want to look at him again. I pull this down. There's one other thing that I need to talk about advertising. At the end of your advertisement, you need to have 3 things, ladies and gentlemen. What are those 3 things? And this is clearly covered in the text. If I have not, do I expect that you read the material in the text? I demand it, because there's going to be stuff in there that I don't get a chance to talk to. We only get 15 minutes. We only get 15 minutes twice a week together. So that's why the book is there, to cover stuff that we don't talk about. But there's 3 things that you're going to need that you should have, I would suggest, at the end of your ad. What are they? Raise your hand. Well, you start. What's that? Hot Pockets. A jingle! Yeah, a jingle can be good, can't it? Yeah, I would buy that a jingle. I write that down. Maybe a jingle. That's good. A jingle. What else are you going to need along with your jingle? A slogan. Very good. I'm loving it, which is really the same as Hot Pockets, isn't it?
Which is the same as 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, you're kind of right. There's only so many notes, that you can play, right? Mozart probably wrote that jingle. And they've been using it ever since. Probably was written by a Greek before that, right? Right? So you want a slogan. Give me some other good slogans. Just do it. Just do it. Make those workers work 16 hours a week, for 6 days a week, 5 hours a day, even if they're 14. All right. Just do it. What else? Yeah.
You want like a logo to display laughs or something?
What's that?
A logo or something?
Yeah. A logo. That's the 3rd thing you wanted to use is a logo. Right? Swish. I got a personal friend who's responsible for the redesign of the State Farm logo. She was the team leader of the redesign of the logo. And there's a couple things in the logo. We kind of sit around and talk about it. It needs to be simple. It needs to denote movement. In their case, it needed to denote stability. And actually, the new State Farm logo isn't that much different from the last one. Now she's got the problem of, how many State Farm signs there are? Like 1.5 million. And her job now is to get new signs to agents. So she works about 90 hours a week at the office. Now, she probably makes $250,000 to $500,000 a year, but she was also responsible for building that little complex south of town. She was the building manager. Yeah. But anyways, the point is, logo. Movement, stability. Are there any? How many logos you got on right now? Do I have any of them? I don't think I do. You got the red. Ooh, I love Reggie Redburn. How about Youngstown? No, who did we lose to? Yeah, but they were number 1 in the news. Anybody see the game? You guys don't watch those games, do you? You missed a great season, okay? But we're playing Appalachian State in 1st or the 2nd. You guys don't care, do you? How many people go to basketball? Yeah, okay.
Took Northwestern to overtime.
It was a good game.
Oh, yeah? Again, as a hobby. I don't watch much basketball. But maybe I will. And tell me I should, because we got a really good team this year. But anyways. Yeah, we lost North Dakota State. It was number one in the nation. But there's the logo. It's what other logos we got? We got, the North Face. What else we got? Who's got a logo? Jewel. That's a nice logo. We've had it for years. Right? It's a logo. So what at the end of your spot, give us a blank screen with what? A logo. A slogan, maybe a jingle, but there's one other thing now. It's amazing. Maggie said to me last week, she said, people must have been way smarter before the internet because they had to remember everything. And I was looking at this morning, the burning of the library in Alexandria, like what date it was, who did it. Can you imagine having to know that? I mean, all the facts that we can get so quickly on the internet. Do you know what I'm talking about? All the facts that we get on the internet. You get facts on the internet?
Yes.
I get them every day. The Life of Pi I saw yesterday, and I didn't know who the director was, Ang Lee, and he did Brokeback Mountain, and he did Face Off, and he did a bunch of other stuff. And who the writer is, I gotta know. I go to imdb.com, man. I know the writer. I know the history of what he's written. It's all at my fingertips. You know how that information was to get before the internet? Yeah, man, where would you go? I'd have to save all my entertainment weeklies. I'd have to be subscribed to the Variety, you know? And now, I mean, Script Writing Magazine comes to me every week just on email. It's awesome. The point is, what am I trying to get at? What else do you want? If you're promoting an organization, what organization do you care about? Is there any cause you care about? No, that's okay. Certain restaurants. Piaggi.com. You hear what I'm saying? Contact information for your business or organization. Write that down. Down at the bottom. www.vocalgirls.com. Oh, whatever it is. I'm now over her bride if you're interested. It's on Jerry Springer about all the time. Do you guys get my point? What am I saying? Raise your hand. Yes?
Well, it's like their call to action, like how they get involved.
Right. So you put your web page or the phone number to give more for the Red Cross to help the victims of the hurricane. Here's the 1-800 number. Put it on the last slide of your ad. Do you understand? I'm trying to help you. Get it? On the last slide of your ad, put the name of your organization, a logo, a slogan, and contact information. I mean, what good does it do to tell people to give money but not tell them how to do it? Do you understand? Because you want to attract their attention, but at the end, what do we want to do? And thus, motivate action. Remember the Dove commercial we saw about the woman that's transformed? Do you remember her? Well, they told you how to get a hold of Dove's campaign about how to be beautiful without being beautiful, by being beautiful, or whatever it is that they were selling us. I don't know. Use Dove soap, then you're not so clean that you're politically incorrect, but you're clean enough to be acceptable. Whatever. I like Dove. What it's worth. So you guys got that in your last slide. Everybody, dude, bust them if they don't have it. What are they going to have? On your last slide, you're going to have what? Yeah, a slogan, a logo, contact information, the explicit name of your organization, and maybe a suggestion about a jingle. Just use the one, say, fight cancer, which I don't need a little fighting cancer to the men or the hot pocket slogan, all right? All right, so are you guys clear? I mean, again, you know, if you weren't here on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I can't help that. But are we ready to write our commercial? Yes, ma'am.
For the jingle, if you're like something like that, how do you know what jingle is? You just say like jingle call or something?
No, you're going to need to learn music and use a staff. You know, whether it's treble or bass clap. I go ahead and do the notes exactly as you're playing. No, I don't know. Just put catchy jingle. That's good enough. That's close. Catchy jingle. No, it's a good question. It's an awesome question. I mean, ideally, I would say make a recording of it. You know what I mean? But that's a good question. Catchy jingle. They're going to know. And you might say, I want it to sound like somebody, like Sublime, or like Marley. kind of a reggae feel. If I was doing the BP thing at the end of it, I want some kind of beach sound and Beach Boys music like jingle. Give us some approximation, maybe. Okay? Good. Does it answer your question? It's a good question. Yes, ma'am.
If you're doing like a PSA and they already have like a slogan or something, can you like use your own slogan?
I would encourage you to use your own slogan. And this is where be very careful. Because I remember somebody did ping golf for me one year, and they were so close to the campaign that it was almost plagiarism. Okay? I'd rather you think about a campaign. We're going to talk about this Wednesday, but particularly Smoody and Courtright talk about a campaign rather than an individual ad. So I would suggest, and then there was one time a student in this class who was a high achiever. She did this whole campaign for Victoria's Secret that was Think Pink. And this was like 2.5 years before they adopted that. And I don't remember the name of the student, but I'd like to get a hold of her to find out if she either ripped them off or she actually works for them. Because it's like their slogan, or was for a while, is it not? I mean, I don't go to Victoria's Secret much, maybe you guys do, but wasn't that their slogan for a while? Yeah, you do, you know. John said I don't want to relationship, so I'm sorry. Let's take something real quick. Wednesday we're going to talk about PR. Do I expect you're going to read the chapter of PR? I demand it. Read the darn chapter. Okay, we're not done though, because what we've got to do is we've got to talk about how to write the format of our commercial. And if you haven't read the book, you know what format is, and I suggested, I screamed at you as we let out in class, what did I ask you to read? Does anybody remember? Telling a visual story. Oh, there it is, scripting the visual. Who is that? 2 American icons. God, I didn't realize Lucas sold Star Wars for $4 billion to Disney. What would you do with $4 billion? Yeah, he said he was going to get a lot of it.
They had all stopped by Chinese to buy it from.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know why. Except this morning. Listen to me. This morning, I read Tarantino talking about Star Wars. So, anyways, are you guys watching this in class?
Yes.
Have you started it? Yeah, I do want to apologize for 2 things. I'm assuming that we're all R-rated here, right? Is that a fair assumption? And then I do some of the racial slurs that Quentin Tarantino uses I find personally offensive, and I don't think he has a right to use those words, but what can I do, man? It's otherwise American iconistic movie. How many people saw Pulp Fiction before this class? How many? Okay, but everybody's going to have the opportunity. It changed. Look, it's the film that made me decide not to be a director. I was going to be a director, and then I saw it, and I was like, there's no way I could do a film that good. Forget it. I did. I just gave up. I could not imagine directing people to act as real as he directed them to act. Now, I went on to subsequently direct documentaries, but that's easy. You're not directing somebody to pretend. You're just putting the camera on what happens. You know what I mean? Trying to get somebody to act like they're really shot, man, that's beyond me. No, do it with more pain. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to do that. So anyways, Pulp Fiction was up for Best Picture in 94 or 93? 94. Him and Richard A. wrote a great script. So we're going to try to dissect the story that's here. And we're going to go back to the model we started this class with, right? First day, we talked about dramatic model, and we've used it throughout. Last day, we're going to try to talk about that dramatic model again in forms of a film, and particularly Pulp Fiction. Did you guys, anybody see any good movies over break? What'd you see, Jeff? Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis is definitely going to get nominated. Who else saw it? Okay, well, and then after school, I'm like, okay, what do you say? The war is about to end because Grant knew that if he had 50,000 and they had 30,000, they all lost 20,000, they would only have 10, you know, it was a war of attrition. What do you want before they get surrendered together? Quit talking about history, Dad, you're embarrassing me. We're out the parking lot. Do you know what an amendment is? Megan's like, oh, it's an addition to the Constitution. You know, but what is like, I don't want to hear it. 13th Amendment. He had to cram the 13th Amendment through before the South surrendered. Again, the Constitution that slavery was against the law. Or what was the war for? Anyways, what a great film. I'm the president. You probably saw The Birth of the Mother presidency in that. This is, I have power. Anyways, go see it. Who else saw a good movie? Yes? Yeah, you saw it. Oh my goodness. I saw it yesterday afternoon. Did you see it in 3D?
Yeah.
It needed to be seen in 3D. It's a story about a guy, a young kid who's trapped on a lifeboat with a couple of animals and a Bengal tiger. And suffice to say, at the end, it's just him and the Bengal tiger. Barely. But what a great film, huh? I mean, a story, but also a story about, like, I mean, I love the fact that he was Islamic, Hindu, Catholic, first of all. You know, and that line, which story are you most comfortable with? So it is with God. Anyways, it's a great story, right? And then he told the other story. So was the floating island the cook? Anyways, I don't want to give any of them away. He may or may not live, and the tiger may or may not live. It's a good movie. Go see it. You guys see any other good movies? Yes?
I saw the new James Bond.
Oh, yeah, I snuck from Lincoln since it was only 10:45. I didn't have to pick up the kids till 3:15, 3:20, so you know what I did? I did the old go to the bathroom, walk into James Bond. Don't tell the cops. All right? So, yeah, I saw most of it. I mean, he was in the cage, and then he showed what the, and then I had to leave. Huh?
That's pretty boring.
Yeah, right, so I got a lot of it in. I did a two for that day. It was Thanksgiving break, though, right? Edit that. Yes, ma'am.
I was going to say I saw Argo.
Argo, you saw it? I haven't seen it yet.
Very good.
I should go see it this week, shouldn't I?
Should.
Yeah, okay. A great story.
It's pretty funny, actually.
You got diplomatic people stuck in Iran after the revolution. They have to try to get them out. There's the need. The complications, how do we get them out? And then this one guy comes up with a solution, which is, let's pretend like we're making like a Star Wars movie, and we're scouting locations, right? And then we hit the fun and games section. Argo. Anyways, were you thinking about the dramatic battle when you saw these films at all? A little bit more?
A little bit after the fact. Like,
Okay.
I was done watching it.
Okay, well, I can't help but think about the dramatic structure as I'm watching. And the guy that wrote Galen, is that his name, that wrote Lincoln? And I'm always doing research about what else he wrote. I'm trying to think about it now. I can't remember the other. He's also an actor. But I'm all about, like, figuring out who the writer is. I mean, the kids are like, when they watch the movie with me, I'm like, shh, the most important part, the writer. I guess I did watch some other stuff. Man, we watched like 58 hours of Simpsons. Simpsons. Longest running film ever. Or a TV show ever. Anybody see anything else good? Who saw something crap? Oh, I saw Wreck-It Ralph too. Duh. I saw Wreck-It Ralph too. I like movies. Right? I write them. And the one thing I can do, so I don't have to write them, is what can I do? Go to the movies, right? So Wreck-It Ralph, man, he's tired of being the bad guy. He wants to be a good guy, wants to win a medal. And he gets caught up in the Candyland game, Sugar City or whatever. You saw it? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was actually really creative.
It was creative. And the kids were like, how they mix the different kind of effects from like the old games to the new. You guys don't even remember, man. When I was a kid, they came out with Pong. What a video game! Bloop, bloop. Wow! You buy for $200 at Sears. right. But Wreck-It Ralph used all the different genres and stages of video games. And this guy went from video game to video game, Call of Duty almost. Right. He went through all video games and tried to become a hero. It was good too. It was good, right? Man, I'm all about Rotten Tomatoes, 87%. 92% for Lincoln. I don't go to nothing unless it gets over 65, unless she really wants to go. You know what I mean? Anyways, good films, but I want you to think about this. What was his dramatic meaning?
To be seen as a good guy, like
Yeah,
a hero.
did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He just wanted to be invited to the party. It was like their 30th anniversary. They didn't even invite him to the party. He's part of this video game, and everybody thinks he's a pariah, man, because he tears up this building every time. And they don't even give him any cake. And he's like, man, what's the deal? I play a function here, but you guys make me live in the dump. So he has a need, and he tries to solve that need by getting a medal, doesn't he? And complications ensue, and in the end, he's either a hero or not, right? Good story. Again, John Lasseter involved, who is the guy from Pixar, man. He's the guy that started Pixar, then Steve Jobs said, here, let me give you $5 million. All right, but we're scripting the visual. We're going to talk about storyboards here. This is the nuts and bolts of what you need. Now, there's some general rules about scripting the visual that we're going to talk about off the bat. Okay? General considerations, storyboards. We'll talk a little bit about split page, a little bit about single camera. But really, go forward. I want to talk. Come on, man. Let me turn off some of the lights. All right, general considerations. Here's the deal, guys. There's no fixed rules. Now, remember, you guys wrote script with, what? Easy News. And that was split page, was it not? The computer facilitated it. There are no fixed rules because everybody writes different. Let me tell you this. CSI even has variations in their script format from Law and Order. Just little variations. Guys, I got an email from somebody out in the field with a good job recently. You know what they said to me? Dr. McHale, the most important thing that you tell me was whose rules do you follow? Your boss's. Write it down. Ask the boss what the correct format is. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't say to your boss, McHale said this. Don't say that. Say, yes, ma'am. Okay? Who decides what the standards are? Your boss, right? But in general, it's right there. It's right there. Use your boss's standards, man. So when 3 people say boss, I'm like so impressed with you guys. Use a printed 8.5, 5.5 by copies using one side of the page. God, that blue is just not very clear, but what am I going to do? Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right. Use one side of the page. I like to save paper, not when I'm writing scripts. Use only one side of the paper. Okay? Keep talent in mind when you're using punctuation. All right? I just read never use an exclamation mark. Let the actor decide it's time to use an exclamation mark. Well, there's one scene in Play Misty for Me where the writer said, the woman screams, "You won't ignore me or I'll kill you." And the actress, rather than play it like that, Clint Eastwood directed it, rather than play it like that, the woman said, "Don't ignore me or I'll kill you." Which is even more stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know who said it, but I don't know, McKee or somebody, that we read for 351. Just keep the talent in mind when you use punctuation. Make it easy for Ron Burgundy to, good morning, San Diego, right? Make it easy for him. And have date revised pages on every script. Even if you have a cover page for your ad. How about that? Is that okay? To have a cover page for your ad? Would you rather hand your boss an ad with or without a cover page? We usually don't say have a cover page. But do you think it's a good idea? Yeah, man, have a cover page. And on that page, identify what date this version is from. Okay? This morning as I made a change in Frank, instead of just opening his window and giving something to the banker, he says, we don't get time for him. He goes around the block, then he's like, man. And he comes back around the block, and he rolls down the limo, and he throws the guy some money. He sees that he has A lesions, so he throws up in the limo, or he's like, I don't want to talk about it. But the point is that I wanted to put the date of this revision. So I go to the cover page, I put 11/26. That's today's date, right? Good. Why do I do that? On time. Come on, help me out, guys. When I'm looking at a version of the script, what do I want? The latest version. And I want that to be clear to me and everybody else working on the project. Do you understand? Scripts undergo such changes. And listen, we're talking about commercials right now. The average commercial undergoes 9 revisions before it's ready to shoot. Do you understand me? You say, McKay, oh, you are hard on us, man. You make us revise too much. I'm telling you right now, the average television commercial, when it's presented to a client, from the point it's presented to the client, will go through 9 revisions on average before it's actually produced. That initially came to a shock to me when I was working in the industry. Well, I was making a video for University of Missouri about how to use the helicopter evac system. And it went through so many revisions. I was like, did I not do it right the first time? What's the answer to that question? But that's the process. Yeah, isn't it the process? Have I not taught you that? I mean, haven't I tried to? So you're not going to be shocked when you have to do 9 revisions. How is everybody going to know it's the latest revision? It's going to have a date on the front. So it makes it what? Clear, right? Which is the most important thing when it comes to video. When it comes to any kind of mass media, right? Clarity. So on the cover page, you have a cover page, have the date revised pages, which says when it was revised so everybody knows, right? All right, let's go to talk particularly about storyboarding. This is a sketch with copy underneath it. And if you do have your book, which you do, there are good examples, right? Page 2, what is it, 96? Looks like he's doing ice, steel ice. What is the one called? There's... One is brought to you by Adam Castor, right? There's 2 of them in here. Is that right? You got an example, okay? Look at the example, page 296. Everybody open your book, you got it with you, 296. We make it clear what we expect in this class. You have some kind of photo sketch of the scene with copy. And look, I'm not an artist. I mean, Woody draws better than me. The 8-year-old picture of a samurai is on my wall because I'm so impressed because I can't draw anything but stick figures. Stick figures are okay. As long as when you say it's a close-up, have a close-up of the stick figure. Or if it's a medium shot, have a medium shot of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? A medium shot of the stick figure. If it's a wide shot, make it a wide shot of the stick figures. Do you understand what I'm saying? Stick figures are fine. Neatness is important. Artistic ability is not. Okay? So you may also have photos, character-generated stuff, or paintings. It's a communicative tool. Why would you use storyboards? Yes, ma'am?
For reference?
For reference? Who can understand this form? Yes? Your client. Anybody. Let's look at one of them. Pulp Fiction, 1994. Now, this was done after the fact. Go ahead. Okay, zoom in to that top thing. Okay, here you have a picture. You see it? You have a picture of Jules, right? And over on the right-hand side, actually, we're going to tell you to put it underneath. Is that correct?
Yes.
Although I don't know how much you count off it was on the side, but we want it underneath. But it's a close-up, is it not? So it says, see you. Jules Winfield stares ahead as he drives the car, listening to Vincent chatter. Have you guys started watching this film? Did you watch it on Friday?
We started, we're not here yet.
Yeah, okay. Well, the car rumbles low under the VO of Vincent. Have you ever seen that show, Cox? I mean, I was watching it one time, and they had this guy in there, this guy. He was talking about this. What is that? What did I just say? Raise your hand, man. It's dialogue. So what you got is you got in one form direction. Look, what you have is see you, which is specific information about a shot. Then you have direction to the 2 actors. Then you have sound effects, nat sound. You see that? So the car rumbles slow under, and then VO, because Vincent is over here in the car, he's off screen. VO means voiceover. I would put off screen in that case, but nevertheless, it'd be fine, right? And then it has who speaks and what they say. Do you see that? So what we have here is a picture, and we have copy. All right? So we need to be rolling along. This is what I would do. I would try to get all the copy done and take it over to the Visor Center. And I would have people read it. In the meantime, what I would suggest to you is you figure out your pictures and you be ready to tape them to the page that has your copy on it. So this is what I need you to do. Make sure you read this chapter, reread the directions on advertising, and look at the examples. We clearly state what we expect from you. Also, I need you to look at the chapter on public relations so we can have a vigorous discussion of it on Wednesday. Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving.